Eh, long as things. Oh, hey! I think they're awake. Ugh. Hello there. You've been out for a while. Uh, you don't seem to be from around here, so I brought a little something to catch you up. It's been hours since we found you. I forget where. They aren't telling me where exactly. It was just along some route. But we decided to bring you in and just make sure you're taken care of. We don't want you to go die out in the desert, do we now? It's nice to see you all stirring. You look pretty healthy, given where we found you. So, like I said, I brought this little document just to get you up to speed, you know. I'm very excited to show you it. It's not often that I get to tell people so much stuff. I'm known to be a bit of a yapper, I suppose. Anyway, sup nerd, quick catch up because you hit your head real hard. Shall we? Okay, so where are we? That's probably your first question. You're in an old supply house by the garage. When it comes to like where we are, that's probably why you'll hear cars and stuff, so don't mind that, you're fine. Anyway, in case you've really gotten your head smacked bad, you're on planet Siltavara. It's real sandy, but there's a few small seas here and there. There's also savannas, plains, plateaus, all sorts of things. Even marshes, it's like got a lot more than people say about it, you know. But it's mostly a dirt ball ultimately, I'll admit that. Anyway, where we are on the planet, this is a, yeah, like I said, don't mind the trucks. This is a temporary-ish, maybe kind of solid base of the United Outlander Front. That is our logo. We are the wheel beneath the sun. We're resistance fighters, to put it long and to short. This place is, we're pretty sure it's safe, so you should be fine here. Just keep that in mind going forward. You don't have to worry. Anywho, with that all established, what do we do here? I mentioned that we are the United Outlander Front, and we're resistance fighters, and I could just leave it at that, but I think it would be unfair to welcome you into our little base and not even let you know what we do. Anywho, our mission statement. We are here to repel and break the massive and unjust Vayan occupation on over 100 Outlander clans and territories across this region of the world. Our goal is to liberate occupied settlements, conduct sabotage on Vayan infrastructure, damage Vayan morale while uplifting oppressed Outlanders and providing aid to subjugated peoples. Now, that was probably a lot of nonsense. Yeah, I can tell by the look on your face. That was so much nonsense. So, thankfully, me and all of my wisdom, I brought you a little catch-up on Siltavaran politics. But welcome to Siltavaran Politics 101. So, basically, this world has rare, comparatively small, fertile highland regions. There's these things called cities that live there. We don't know much, if anything at all. Well, we know a few things, but we're mostly just guessing about what we know about what goes on in them. All we know is that they hoard advanced technology, ignore us in the lowlands, and they're just peacefully trading with each other aboard these big skyships. You can see them sailing all the time, just slow lumbering through the sky. They're pretty high up, but sometimes they get a little lower. It's quite the sight, really. But all we know is that these big ships are moving in between these cities, and their travels take weeks because of the sheer distance between them. Anywho, they're also protected by big walls, and they have really fertile land on the highlands, so they grow lots of crops outside usually. And roughly 70% of this world's surface is dry land, but a very robust ecosystem still thrives. Traveling long distances takes months by land vehicle, and like I said earlier, weeks by skyship. The cities have a monopoly on skyships as far as we know. Unfortunate for us, Outlanders. Speaking of Outlanders, there is a lot to know about the Outlands and what goes on in them. Basically, to go from the bottom down, there are 5 major types of clans in the Outlands. We start with the noble clans. These have strong settlements on fairly fertile land, and they host lots of artisans and warriors. Usually, their business is conducting war sport, the literal sport of war. They'll actually fight more with their allies than with their enemies, for the sake of entertainment and quote-unquote practice. And they also do lots of festivals. They love expressing a lot of culture and just vibrant, good times, pretty much. They're basically just vibing. Anywho, beneath them are the merchant clans. They live aboard big convoys of really big vehicles, like bigger than your house kind of big vehicles. They're real big, built to constantly be roving around for months at a time. They don't usually settle anywhere for too long, and they follow predicted, publicly announced routes, usually. You can find almost anything off them if you buy from them at the right season. It's very fun. And there's also the scrappers, who the merchants like to buy scrap from to sell to the noble clans, but sometimes noble clans will buy directly. Anywho, these scrappers live on scrap fields. It's kind of just a vague term for battle wreckage, all sorts of stuff, anywhere where you'll find a lot of metal or a lot of other resources. They usually work the land or the site to make their living out there. They have a pretty cozy life, thanks to the noble clans, because another thing about the noble clans is they have big old war convoys that ride around, and they have big established territories and big, very clearly drawn out borders. And who is not allowed in those borders is probably the first question you think. That would be the scav clans, also known as scavenger clans, or, more commonly referred, raiders. These guys are just a bunch of punks, pretty much. They live out in the middle of nowhere, usually. They find little caves or little alcoves and set up little gangs. Sometimes they let themselves be known, and they try to draw out criminals or exiled peoples from the noble clans, merchants, scrappers, etc. However, the thing is, where am I? Yeah. These scrappers, well, not scrappers, but my goodness. The scav clans, they're always trying to harass the protected lands because they want to pillage, loot, etc. They want to cause chaos in here. However, the noble clans don't allow them. Anyway, like I said, that's Celtivar Politics 101. You basically know how it's been for the last centuries, really, as long as anybody alive remembers. Apparently, for as long, well, I guess I could get into history, but it's not really that complex. Anywho, this is how it is nowadays, and it's how it's been for centuries. That said, let's move along. So, what went wrong? Why are we a rebellion? Who are Vayans? Etc. What's up with the occupation, you know? So, basically, you can just shut your ears if you don't want the long story. But what went wrong essentially is this punk here. His name is Salaroth, Herald of Vea, in a big 13-foot tall suit of flying armor. So, a city named Vea has secretly been causing plagues, famines, etc. for decades. The Scav clans, with the defenses of the noble clan territories weakened, poured into the regions. They destabilized dozens of clans and caused lots of chaos. A powerful noble clan called the Bloody Whales founded a Dampier bloodline. I'll explain. Don't worry. We get there when we get there. And this line was called the Starmortar line. They were founded with the mission to drive out the Scav clans and restore peace and prosperity to the region. The warriors grew from childhood, trained in war, and after their proving war, I'll also explain that, don't worry, a woman named Maeve was crowned as Lord of the Line, basically the most successful among her siblings, and therefore granted the title to lead the war effort. Maeve launched a very now I forgot to mention, her other siblings were still her war council. That's an important detail. Nothing happened to them, really. Anyway, Maeve launched a very successful, very bloody crusade across the Outlands. succeeding in restoring security, but discovered the truth of the Van plot as the original cause of the instability in the first place. The Scav clans were paid for by the city of Vea, by this punk right here, to launch massive attacks after skyships poisoned crops and food. It's a whole lot of mayhem. So, what happened next? Pretty complicated, but basically, let me move my hands a little. Whalefall and the Dance of the Ashes is what happened. Maeve rallied a massive army and set course for the walls of Vea, sending thousands of cars and warriors from across the islands to attempt to breach the city's walls and claim vengeance for the damage their scheme caused. The Vean war fleet revealed itself 400 miles from the walls. That sounds pretty far on paper, but because of how far apart everything is on Siltavara, it wasn't too far. It's vaguely what we would consider just outside of their territory. And anyway, they showed up with their ships and mercilessly eradicated the Outlander armada with artillery. Maeve vanished in the fire of Whalefall with little trace, struck down by Salarath. The fleet was unexpectedly massive, with hundreds of ships and uncountable soldiers, and spread across the Outlands like a plague, raising settlements and deploying occupational forces, raising the blue banners of Van rule over hundreds of clans of all types. They began to purge Dampier warriors of the noble clans, demand massive tithes from merchants, set up garrisons and depots along the Scrapperlands, and established the Scav clans as mercenaries to crush resistance. Yeah, I believe that they did that on purpose, for the fact that the people trusted the noble clans for a long time to be working for their best interests. So, when the Vans took rule, they knew that their armies alone wouldn't be enough to keep everybody in line. So instead, they got rid of those old borders that the noble clans held up and paid the Scav clans to work for them, follow their rules, kill who they tell them to kill, etc. Because Outlanders fear the Scav clans without noble clans to stop them. They want us to be afraid, not to trust them instead of our own. Likely, because they plain simple know that we'll never trust them for what they've done. Anywho, as things stand, Outlander society has been smothered by this Dance of the Ashes, as we call it, in a wide region of the world, and rewired to fuel the even greater prosperity of the city of Vea with opulence. All of our food, resources, all of our fabrics, fancy construction, etc. They're even taking our art. That said, so, I remember I told you, I promised you even, I would tell you what Dampiers are and explain a bloodline, etc. So, there are beasts in the Outlands known as bloodbearers. They are absurdly durable, powerful, and fast mammals. For reasons unknown, their hearts can bless the children of mortal mothers with their power. They appear like normal humans, but have fangs, brighter hair, and luminescent eyes. One sec, let me drink some water. Do you mind if I drink some water? That should be all good. There's some over to your left. Yeah, you should be fine. One sec. Okay. Where were we? Yeah, there we are. Anywho, these children from the Blessed Mothers are called Dampiers in the Outlands. Due to the obscene difficulty of hunting bloodbearers, only noble clans with their highly trained war parties produce Dampier bloodlines. They are raised and trained for war, both as a sport and to protect clan territories, like I've explained before. These enhanced humans have incredible capabilities. They can run at 50 miles an hour, endure gunshots, tear through steel with their bare hands, spot targets from a mile away, and regenerate massive, otherwise life-ending wounds by consuming mortal blood. The first Dampiers of every bloodline are G1s, their children are G2s, and so on. Before you ask me, if two Dampiers have a kid, it's going to be the succeeding generation of whichever one is the higher generation. So for example, a G5 and a G2 have a kid, they get a G3. Simple. Anywho, the children of G6s are mortals again, with little trace of their Dampier heritage. Every generation is slightly weaker than the last, but they are all considerably strong. Their capabilities and resilience make them valuable tide turners in battle. High gens, 1s and 2s, and the 3s and 4s are called mid gens, the 5s and 6s are called low gens. They're all pretty strong though. The 6s and 5s are actually pretty popular for shock troops for the noble clans, actually. They kick a lot of ass, so don't underestimate them for being quote-unquote low gens. Anywho, their capabilities and resilience make them valuable tide turners. High gens are massively rare after the Dance of the Ashes due to the Vane Dampier purge. Pretty brutal stuff. They made absolutely sure to eradicate them because they were figures of leadership for the Outlands. Usually it was in the first year of Vane rule and conquest that they were all burnt out in dramatic last stands for the most part. That said, let's move on to a very important Dampier. I mentioned Maeve's Starmortar. Though she was slain at Whalefall, she had a child 9 years of age named Marcella, being raised as Outlander warrior nobility in the palace of her clan. Familiar name, huh? I bet you're here for that, huh? The mortals and Dampiers of noble clans live in symbiosis. The mortals act as scribes, aids, and generally support the Dampiers, while the Dampiers master the martial arts to defend the prosperity of the mortals. There are thousands of Outlanders for every Dampier, making their activities, feuds, and developments popular news similar to athletes. Marcella, like all High-Gen Dampiers, was soon to begin being trained for war before Whalefall. At 12, they learn armaments and CQC. At 14, they begin studying strategy and duel etiquette. At 17, they are sent to a proving war against another clan, a planned-out war game where convoys skirmish for weeks, then clash together in heated frenzies to test the potential of new Dampier warriors. You following? You look like you're getting distracted. Okay, we're good. Cool. Let's keep moving. Deep down, Maeve feared that if her march on Vea failed, her daughter would be endangered. Boy, was she right. And so the girl was whisked away to a scrapper field on the promise that at 17 years of age, or if Maeve's war party returned, she would be sought out and trained as is her birthright. That makes sense, right? So, the years passed as the Dance of the Ashes raged on. Marcella adapted to a harder life after losing the peace of growing in nobility, toiling and masking herself as a mortal. Her 17th birthday came, and on the very day, riders of the Brass Falcons noble clan, once allies of the Bloody Whales that had capitulated to the Vanes to swear full demilitarization, giving up their guns, their armored vehicles, etc., but in exchange for being spared a purge of their Dampier population. Anyway, riders of this clan arrived to take Marcella to a farm on their territory where a hidden war academy laid in secret. She was rushed through the education, spared knowing most of the rites of traditional war sport, and emerged at 19 after 2 years of rigorous training, a proper High-Gen Dampier warrior, one of the only known living High-Gens after the Purge, which did not spare even the most subservient clans to the Vane occupation. Even the Brass Falcons had their High-Gens purged, despite everything they gave the Vanes. Their mid-gens and low-gens got to survive, and that's all they had to thank them for, really. The United Outlander Front was a collection of small, scattered, constantly repositioning cells at this time, but one of these cells managed to find Marcella and recruit her to our cause. So that sort of starts leading us to here, where we are now. Hopefully that makes sense. It was just starting up. It was barely even a thing. It was like so early on that they had like a dozen names and other stuff. It hadn't really solidified, and it only started to a little bit later. Anywho, the first years were hard and brutal for the cell Marcella joined. Casualties were regular, friends were rare, but with her raw determination, she brought small victory by small victory to the cell. They grew bolder, began to connect to other cells, establish actual camps, and plot greater missions. The ULF could now not just merely annoy the occupation, but consider greater plans as momentum built and built. Supply runs became raids on checkpoints. Arsenals were rushed and raided for their weapons. Jails were razed to free unjust prisoners of war. Transports were destroyed. Tanks were stolen. Wielding a buzzsaw used to cut out the hearts of blood bearers, Marcella made a name through her feats of unrelenting violence in the name of freeing her people, her civilization. Civilization? Forgive me. Her civilization, her world. The myth of a secret child of Maeve's Star Mortar spread along the wind, and now more and more approach us to join our ranks. And that leads us today. Today. But that's annoying to say. Anywho, the year is 13 AWF, after Whalefall. It's been a while. The United Outlander Front is still yet to be capable of fulfilling its higher ambitions, but now has the capacity to slowly start up underground operations to liberate oppressed Outlanders in secret, and launch small guerrilla raids at low-profile pinpoints of vain operations. Our goal remains to grow, and with our new headquarters, Marcella is our ultimate weapon held in reserve for key operations. As events stand, the base is safe, while the Outlands still hide in fear of looming skyships and marching parades of soldiers. We are the wheel beneath the sun, ever turning through fire and shadow alike. In these times, where no great festivals cheer across the desert and no glorious war sport is broadcast to the people, Marcella has chosen to spend an amount of her time capturing her moments of peace in these quiet days, waiting for the war for freedom to escalate. We invite you, lonesome traveler, to enjoy the company, the virtual company, I should specify, of the Blood Divine. So, sound like a good deal? Hopefully, you've ended up in the right place then. I recommend you get some more shut-eye. We'll be right back. Oh goodness. I've been holding this pull up for like 20 minutes. Ugh. Oh, they turned the dang camera on. Oh, hi. Hey, I was starting up a thing. Hey, don't mind me. I'm just working out a little right now. Hey there. Those are my boots. A lot of people have seen them cave their skulls in. Don't worry, they're not going to cave your skull in though. I don't think so. I'm not planning on it. How are you? One sec, let me get down. Oh, there's my war sash. It's actually got a bunch of magazines for my rifle behind it, just so you know. But don't worry. Nope, there's Mr. Razorface, my buzzsaw. My hair, armor plates, my pants, my belt. Don't mind the bit of tummy. I've got a little bandolier with some vials on it, in case I need a quick heal. Got some grenades, everything you need. A little bit of armor. This bracer actually says something really cool. I like this bracer a lot. Freedom, glory, to the end. Official battle cry of the UOF. Ain't that cool? Hell yeah, the buzzsaw. I love this thing. Anywho, my grenades, etc. You can kind of see my rifle, my chest plate, my shoulder plates. If you read this chest plate carefully, actually, it says "Born to Burn" on it. I kind of like it. I just think it's cool and edgy. Yeah, there's my rifle. You can see my hair. I have a lot of it. It causes some trouble when I'm fighting sometimes, but I like it, so why not? Oh? What? Are you guys ready for this part? What? There's my fangs. My fangs made to bite you. I mean, not you, not you. I wouldn't buy you. You're my friends. Um, my fangs. I've got some mascara. It's always messy though. My hair's all frizzy and fuzzy these days. What? Hello. I didn't see you. I've got a cool streak in my hair and stuff. And a little crown. I'm in the 17th squad. 917. It's a special dampier unit. It's very cool. And now, I have probably my greatest trick yet to show you. Brand new Marcella innovation. Are you guys ready for this? Check this. Boom. I have an OJ. It's a tiny little one. Just a tiny little one. I love this thing. I'm so excited to get to show you this outfit. I've worked on it for so long. Star Mortar, my cool mortar. Oh, thank you. I'm so proud of this. I've had it sitting around for so long. But yeah, it's finally here. So that is awesome. Anyway, I'm here to reintroduce myself because I kind of wanted to take the opportunity of having a new outfit and all to just kind of say hello again. Oh, yeah, in my room. Oh my god, I completely forgot to mention my room. Here, let me... Here, one sec. Let me get in the corner a little. Yeah, I'm just gonna get out the way. There we are. I'm in the corner now. Hello, chat. Wow. There you go. Behold! My bedroom! You never gotten to see it before, huh? It's very pretty. There's some posters. I drew them myself. There's Raura over there, and there's me. Yeah, Blood Divine, baby. And I have my bed. It's actually a heated bed because it's right on top of a generator room, and it's got some like heat pipes wind up right to it. It's very cool. When are your ankles getting retaken? Give me a sec. There you go. Oh, that's actually my spare parts buzzsaw. I forgot to mention. That's not the actual Mr. Razorface. It's just like I could just neatly put them all in all the spare parts in some drawer somewhere, but I'm like, at that point, why not just put it together so that when I'm working on actual Mr. Razorface, I can just go find the corresponding part in the spare one, you know? Pretty simple, I think. Anyway, as you can see, there's a lot more turtles hanging around now than there was in my last room. There were just a couple of you out on the balcony. Yeah. I've got you all a bunch of neat little nests on the ceiling in here, so you can get some of that nice light. Very nice and warm. I have, like I said, my bed, I have my workbench. There's a sneaky little one down there, I see you. Heated bed. It's got storage for itself too. I usually just keep extra blankets and clothes in there though. And I have a little shelf. Got some books on it, some action figures and stuff. Yeah, that's the bedroom. It's pretty simple, but it's really nice when I'm here with the ULF and stuff here. Let me get myself nice and centered. Yeah, there we go. Anywho, I'm usually just working out a lot these days, getting in shape for the big fights and all. Keeping up to date on the war effort, you know. It's honestly kind of boring. But that's exactly why I wanted to start this up. And just kind of vibe for a while, you know? Just get to hang out with you, say hi, etc. Anywho, all of that said, I have something I would like to show you. Now that the Age of Rebellion has begun. Can you bring up the slide thing? The slide thing I made? Who's bringing up? Me, I'm bringing it up. Yes, that's right. I have to hit the button myself. Oh, there it is. Oh goodness, it's tiny. But... Oh, okay, I think I just need to accept that this is gonna happen awkwardly. Howdy howdy bang bang! My name is marcellastarmortar and I'm awesome and kick-ass, but I'm just kinda chilling lately. Anywho, basic about me. My name is marcellastarmortar, but you can call me Marcy. I also answer to Lord Marcella, the Blood Divine, Badass Stella, Rarcella, etc. I'm from planet Saltavara. I'm born to the Bloody Whales noble clan, but a lot of complicated stuff happened. I hear... Oh, wait, no, that was me explaining to that person earlier in the garage. Right. That might be them watching, come to think of it. Hi there! Anywho, TLDR, I'm now a badass rebel warrior. I'm also basically a vampire girl, so that's really cool. Oh my god, I forgot to turn the chat back on. Ah! Hello, welcome back. You're good. Blah. Anywho, my height is 163 centimeters. Don't make fun. I can literally rip you in half. Am I clear? I can literally rip you in half. Don't make fun of my height. There will be 2 pieces of you if you do, and they will each be shorter than me, considerably. Anywho, I'm 22, but apparently G2 Dampiers can live up to 180-ish, and my birthday is June 14th. As things stand, I only speak English, but I want to learn Japanese. Gomenasai. Ohaya. Anywho, that said, what are my goals? My goals here with you. I'm doing VTubing because I want to bring people together, tell you all about my world, kick some virtual butt, just vibe with you all, make you smile, express my creativity and good vibes. That's what I'm here for. So if that sounds good for you, I recommend you stick around. What kind of things do I like? I love Hololive. I love Raura so much, and she's so silly, and I want to be like her very much. I like eating quesadillas and pizza. I like drawing. I like buffalo sauce. I like playing games, watching movies, and singing, and I like you. Because you're my friends. And that's great. And that makes me happy. And I hope I make you happy. I also really like driving and getting really hyped about stuff. And I also like the holiday season. Basically. And things I don't like are evil people, mean people, apples, horror games, traffic, going slow, and work. I don't like doing work. It sucks. But I can live with it. I've been through worse. Oh, and all my other hyperfixations. I want to tell you about those too, since I have you basically prisoner right now. I love games. I love Doom the Dark Ages, if my armor has any hint towards that. I like Armored Core 6. I've been playing lots of Finals Overwatch lately. And I really like Ultra Kill. Just anything loud, fast, and awesome. I'm gonna be playing a ton of stuff. Stuff I like watching, I like Mad Max, Initial D, Breaking Bad. I want to watch more mecha anime though. I like big machines going fast and really cool skilled pilots and drivers, and just a lot of ass kicking, you know. Oh, and big guns, like big rail guns and cannons and stuff. That stuff is my jam. And books, I like the Red Rising series, the Bobaverse series. I think it's by Dennis E. Taylor. Most sci-fi. I just like all sorts of that stuff. Music, I like Nightcore. My music taste is trapped in 2012, and you're gonna see just how badly that's true very soon. Trust me. Hanging tight. Bring Me to Horizon is probably my favorite band. Oh, I am actually going to be seeing them live next week. Not next week, just a little over next week. So I'm really excited for that. It's gonna be my first in-person concert. I am super duper excited for it. I love Ollie. He's so pretty. Don't tell anybody you heard it from me, but I prefer girls usually. But Ollie's just really pretty. Anyway. I really like baby metal, EDM, hyperpop, all sorts of stuff. I listen to basically whatever. I just love anything that jams. I live for good vibes. And this is you. We call them more turtles, but you probably already know that. There's a ton of you on the ceiling. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 more turtles here. And sneaky one on the floor behind the screen under the workbench. Shout out to that one, I love you. I love you all because you're very cute. You're precious little buddies. Hopefully you are happy with that existence. Anywho, my ocean mark. You're probably wondering what's my ocean mark. I have mentioned this a long time ago when you see it every day, probably. I hope so. But it's a gear and firecracker. Kind of like my buzzsaw and just the energy of blowing stuff up and being fiery. You can follow me on Bluesky. If you look up marcellastarmortar on Bluesky, and if you follow me there, you'll be updated on when I'm doing stuff or just hear my thoughts on my page. I also post my art, like this Rara poster behind me, on Reddit sometimes, so you can download it, make it your wallpaper or something. I'm very proud of that art, honestly. I just kind of locked in and did it in like one setting. It was really cool. I had such a good time with that. It was really good. Like I was just in the zone. I made it actually to celebrate her 3D live, her 3D debut, because it was just such a happy day and such a good time. And I just wanted to capture how that felt for everybody involved. It was really wholesome. Anywho, what next? Oh, yes, credits. I have a lot of people to thank for this great production that is my re-debut and everything. The new design and new outfit is all me, baby. The new room, all made by myself too. These presentations are made by me. I actually went through all the trouble to find the original 2012 Microsoft Movie Maker default font to make this with. It's the OG in the flesh. Because like I said, I'm obsessed with the early 2010s. But yeah, I find all my background music on epidemicsound.com. I make all my art on photopea.com. And I have you to thank for being such a lovely audience. You've been great today. Thank you. It's so nice to see you again. And thank you to the United Outlander Front for giving me such a nice place to stay. And thank you to the Cult of the Blood Divine for making me feel so special, and even in these hard times. Hugs and kisses. And I also have to thank my tiny little kitty Warcat. You've probably heard her on this channel a few times before, but she's such a little baby. But she's also 15. She's an old lady for a cat. I love her so much though. And thank you to myself, to past myself. That's right. I'm looking at you, past Marcella, for pushing through when it was hard. Thank you for that, because now I can be here today just vibing and having a good time. So that's basically everything laid out. I know that was fast, huh? It hasn't even been an hour. Time is just flying when I'm hanging out with y'all. Anyway, all of that said, I would like to bring you to another stream, like how I did when I debuted the first time. I want to show you something very fun, just kind of go crazy. It's going to be archived, but this is the kind of thing I can't guarantee will stay up because I am about to go nuclear with copyright. But I would like to bring you to an old game called Audio Surf, and I'm going to queue that up for 10 minutes from now. How's that sound? I am bringing you back to 2012, and I don't care if you're kicking and screaming on the way. Yeah, so I'm gonna go get the lobby for that opened up. Are you excited to be there? Can we get some hype? Can we get hype? Are you hyped? Come on, you better be hyped. You're gonna see all sorts of cool things. We're gonna blast Nightcore and jam out. You wanna come with me? Do you? Do you? You better. I'm very, very excited to show you all. Anyway, is there anything else in this? Oh, nope, that's all in the presentation. Yeah, here, let me go to my channel real quick. Let me open something up. Hello, audio. Let's see. Go live. Schedule stream. I have a lot of stuff to set up. I'm setting it up live right now. Thumbnail. I'm doing this junk live. It's crazy. Anywho, that will be opening up at you know what, 7:15. It'll be open then. Yes, I am. I am very, very excited. I have so much planned for this. It's gonna be crazy. Like I said, I can't guarantee the stream will stay up. I'm intending on saving the VOD. You'll see my thoughts on it towards the late end. But we are about to jam out, have a very good time. I believe I will see you there very soon. Yeah, so go get yourself some water, have a stretch break, relax for a little bit. Come back within 10 minutes, okay? Check my channel. Let me know when you get over there. Matter of fact, I might even raid you there. Can I raid you there? Am I able to raid myself? Myself? Oh yes, there are going to be many more streams. I have found a better way to balance them with all the other stuff I'm doing in life. I'm gonna be a lot more active, so I'm very excited for that. But yeah, everybody, go skedaddle from here. Get out of here. Go get to my audio surf stream. It'll be booting up very, very soon, okay? I better see you there. You're gonna see a very special, rare, limited edition Marcy, too. We're gonna be jamming. Yeah, just get in the waiting room. I'll be there very soon. We're gonna go off air on this stream, and I'll be right back after I get a stretch break, water break of my own. Yes, I do remember you, Rage. And this channel is still really tiny, you know? It's small enough that I can still very personally remember all my viewers. One of my favorite things about how things are right now, honestly. It's very fun. Anywho, all that said, yeah, let's pack this junk up. And I will set the topic. Jammin' hardcore style. Hell yeah. Okay, okay. Okay, I gotta get going. I need to get some water. I need a stretch break. You get one too. 5 minutes, okay? I better see you at the audio surf stream. This re-debut is not over. Alright, what's up? See you there. Bye-bye.